Hello and welcome to the Grand Prairie Public Library's D&D DM's Workshop. I am North and I am your guide for this video series. I have over 10 years of experience DMing from 3rd edition, Pathfinder, and 5th edition, all forms of D&D. And you would think I would still know how to properly balance an encounter for my party, but I don't. You might be wondering how you yourself can get into D&D. Well, you'll need a few key items to get into it, such as a pen and paper, or some other form of note-taking that you have, a set of D&D dice. You can find them at your hobby shop, or you can just Google virtual ones to use on your computer. You'll also need a group of friends or test subjects to play a simple board game with, and lastly, you'll need the theater of the mind. So, the first step for D&D, just play the game. Just start playing already. What are you waiting for? Like, D&D's built on role playing, and you could just start playing it right now. Nobody knows the rules, especially you. But you as a DM have all the power in the world. You want to make your characters into unstoppable gods? Go ahead. Or you can kill them. You want to give your characters wonderful magical items they can use? Go ahead. Or you could just kill them. You want to create an epic story from rags to riches? Your party starting from nothing and going to everything? Go ahead, you can do it. Or you can just kill them. Honestly, that's the fun fact about D&D. The choice as a DM is yours, and your party has to just roleplay through all these situations. But they might not like how inconsistent of a DM you are. And we do have some wonderful books that can help you just play D&D to the rules. With the first one being the main rule book to D&D, the Player's Handbook, also known as the PHB, also known as the Player's Bible, also known as the Spellcaster's Book that he has open at every session, flipping through the spell section, find the perfect spell for this perfect situation. This book has all rules from character creation, combat, weapons, and items. You can find all these wonderful stats in this book. It even has a small section at the back for beginner enemies and creatures for you DMs to get started with your adventures. Did you know there's an eagle and a bear in this book? And the eagle's way better than the bear? I'm going to keep that fact in my mind forever. I'm going to go outside one day, see an eagle, and be like, that can take on a bear. I know it. But you might be thinking, I want to have a more fleshed out world. I want to have cool rules and all these like awesome fantasy lands. And this book is just not going to help me out enough. Well, there is another book that will be more suited for you. We got the Dungeon Master's Guide. That's right, a guide for Dungeon Masters, you DMs. This book, it will help you build out your fantasy worlds. You need a certain magical item to give your party after you complete a dungeon? It's in this book. You want to have a wonderful NPCs with awesome personalities and creative backstories? It's in this book. You got a giant forest that you want to fill with hazards and traps? It's in this book. You have a dungeon that you need to fill out with monsters to harass your party with? Okay, well, it's not in this book. But we do have a book that has everything about monsters. The Monster Manual. That's right, a book dedicated just for monsters. You can find wee little monsters like kobolds and goblins in it, to the big baddies like the Kraken or the Tarrasque. All their stats are in this book, including their lore and habitats on where to find them. And honestly, that's pretty much all you need for D&D. Like, you got Player's Handbook, DM's Guide, the Monster Manual. You're all set to go. Wait, what is that? You don't have time to build your own creative world with interesting characters and cool plot stories? Well, that's still fine. I got a solution for you. Wizards of the Coast, probably like 3 times a year, publishes official adventure campaign books that you can take your characters from low levels and go all the way through the adventure. It's perfect for DMs on the go that don't have time to develop their own personal stories. And the fun thing about these campaign books is that You can take your party once you're done with them and just plug them into another campaign book and just keep on doing them. Or put them in your own creative stories. Heck, you could just restart the whole entire adventuring group all together and start them at level 1 in a new book. That's the wonderful thing about D&D. You got all these options and all these choices to make, and you as a DM has the creative liberty to make all these choices. Hopefully this video might have enticed more people to get into D&D. I know that's why I got into D&D, is that you can do anything in the world of D&D. And I've been playing for over 10 years. Anyways, I'm North. You have a wonderful day. Cheers.